Hi, superstars. It is time for social studies. We are on chapter 1. We're going to explore ways that people are alike and ways that they're different. We're going to talk about how to be good citizens and why good citizens follow rules. I want you to talk with a partner about ways that you can work together. Let's read this together. How do people learn and work together? In this chapter, you will explore how to be a good citizen. You're going to read about how people are unique. You will also read about how people get along, and you will learn why do we have rules and laws. You're going to use what you learn in this chapter and what you already know to make a book about being good citizens. Let's look at this picture here. What do you see here? There are kids working together. It looks like they're making a book together, and that's what you will be doing. So let's look over here. This is your project that we're going to do. We are going to create a book. It's called an inquiry project. So we can be good citizens. We are going to work with friends and make a book about good citizens. Here's our checklist. We're going to talk about things citizens do. That's our first thing. We're going to write a list together. Then draw a picture. And finally, you're going to make a book. All right? So I want you to think about your experiences working and learning with others. And we're going to learn why it's important to work with others. So how do we help other people? How have you helped other people? Have you helped somebody at home with homework? Have you helped your mom or dad clean the house? Did you pick up garbage from the floor when you were walking in the park? How do we work together? How have you worked together with somebody that you know? And how is that being a good citizen? We are going to learn all about that in this chapter. How do people learn and work together? Exploring how people learn and work together will help us understand how we can be good citizens. We will learn about how people are unique and how people can get along. Do you see this picture here? It looks like everybody is working together. They're reading a book together. What do good citizens do? Good citizens are kind. Good citizens are fair. And good citizens respect other people and follow rules. So if you look in these pictures, these two students are working together and they're being kind with each other. When you're playing a game, you always want to be fair, and good citizens always respect and follow rules. Here they're using a cross guard and they're walking across the street only when it is the correct time. All right, we are on page 4 of our inquiry journal. On this planet Earth. So let's read this together and then we'll discuss what we read. We all live together on this planet Earth. We all live together on this planet Earth. We respect our friends and neighbors. We are citizens together. We all live together on this planet Earth. All right, let's read this page now. People have responsibilities and rights. People have responsibilities and rights. We all know the things we should do. We all know the things we should do. People have responsibilities and rights. We cooperate and try to get along. We cooperate and try to get along. We have teachers here to show us. We have rules and laws to help us. We cooperate and try to get along. Many people share the world that we call home. Many people share the world we call home. We're unique, but we're the same. I would like to learn your name. Many people share the world we call home. Let's look at some of these words. You're going to learn more about these words throughout this chapter. Let's look at this word here. Repeat after me. Citizens. A citizen is a member of a community. We are all citizens of our community. Let's look at this next one over here. Say it with me. Cooperate. Cooperate. When we cooperate, we work together to do something. Cooperate. This word is laws. A law is a rule made by the government. Laws. Let's look at this over here. This word, respect. Say it with me, respect. Respect means to treat someone or something as important. Respect. Let's look at the word over here that I'm highlighting. Responsibilities. Can you repeat that with me? Responsibilities. Responsibility means something a person should do. Responsibility. All right, let's look at the word right next to it. Rights. Rights. A right is something a person is free to do. Rights. Let's look at this word here that I'm highlighting. Rules. Say it with me. Rules. A rule is a statement that tells people how to act. Rules. All right, the last one we're going to go over is unique, and it's right here. I'm circling it with the blue. Say it with me. Unique. Unique means the only one of its kind. Unique. Each and every one of us is unique because there's only one of us in the world, right? So we're each unique. Now we're on our inquiry tools. So let's read this question together. How do we learn about things? So what does it mean to explore? Well, when you learn, you explore in books, you explore on the computer, or by talking together. So let's look here. How do we learn to explore? Do you see the illustrations here? They're exploring and learning on the computer. They're reading books. They're looking at the globe of the world to learn about the world. They're looking at a map here, and they're in class, right, with the teacher. So there's different ways to learn about things. And as we learn, we explore. All right, let's look at page 7 here. It says explore, problem and solution. A problem is something to figure out, and a solution is something that finds an answer to a problem. So let's think of a problem and a solution to the problem. I planted a vegetable garden, but soon I had a problem. The bunnies ate all of my plants. So I have to explore solutions or ways to solve my problem. I needed to keep the bunnies out of my garden, so I found a solution. A fence. Let's look at this page 7 over here, and let's look at this picture here. What problem do you see? There are books everywhere. Look at this picture right here. So this is the problem. There are books on the floor, on the table. It's a mess. The bears need to find a solution to the problem. So what I want you to do is draw a box around the problem. So I already told you which box had the problem, and just by looking at the picture, you can see where is the problem. Draw a box like this around the problem. The problem is the books are everywhere, so you draw a square around the problem. So they need to figure out how to fix this problem. They need a solution. So I want you to put a circle around the solution. Here's the solution. So draw a circle. So what are some solutions to this problem? Well, they can put the books neatly away. They can stack the books very neatly on the floor, or they can stack them on the table. You can also ask an adult to help clean up the books. So the problem was the mess, and the solution was to clean up the mess and put things away nice and neat. All right, let's read this literature together. Its title is Don't Throw It Away. The genre of this, or the style of this literature, is a poem. Now, a poem tells about something in a new or different way. Many poems have rhymes or words that have the same middle and ending sounds. Many poems also have a rhythm or a strong beat. So let's read this together. I'm going to start right here. Paper, plastic, glass, and cans don't belong in the garbage can. If you can't use them once again, toss them in the recycling bin. Batteries, medicine, some cans that spray should not be just thrown away. They're what's known as hazardous waste and must be dumped in a special place. Pile leaves and grass and vegetable scraps. Abracadabra, zoom and zap. That compost heat will soon become plant food for your garden. Yum! Toys and tools and clothes that are old can be given away or sold. Reduce, recycle, and reuse. We can all help Earth if we choose. So, what are some things that we can recycle? We can recycle paper, plastic, glass, and cans. And what things can we reuse? We can reuse things that are old, like toys, tools, or clothes. So you can give those away to someone who needs them, and they can reuse them. So why do you think it's important to recycle, reduce, and reuse? All of these activities help Earth. We live on Earth and we want to keep it clean and healthy so that we can all be healthy, right? So, we were talking right here about composting, right over here. So, we said file leaves and grass and vegetable scraps. Abracadabra, zoom and zap, that compost heap will soon become plant food for your garden. Yum. So we can reuse food and leaves to help people grow better gardens. So food and leaves become plant food. So gardens get a lot of nutrition from things that we can reuse. So if you look over here in this picture, they are recycling. They have paint cans. Those are called hazardous waste. So they put them in a certain place so that it doesn't harm the environment or our earth. And over here, this boy is recycling bottles and glass. And that's how we keep the earth healthy and clean. People you should know. We're going to be looking at good citizens throughout this chapter. This is George Washington. Here's a picture of him. And Mr. Rogers, and here's his picture. These were both good citizens. So let's read about George Washington. George Washington was the first president of the United States. He did not try to become president. Our country needed a good leader. People thought George Washington would do a good job. He became the leader of our country. Who needed him? Now, let's talk about Mr. Rogers. Mr. Fred Rogers cared about children and families. He made a television show called Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. His show teaches us to be kind to everyone and curious about the world. He wrote books and songs for children. He always asked, "Won't you be my neighbor?" So we're going to learn more about good citizens as we go through our social studies. Until next time, superstars, have a wonderful day. Bye.